Hey everybody, I just want to let you know that during my session, my microphone went out, so some of this is from my session and some is taped afterwards. So if you hear some sound discrepancies, that's why. All right, this is me, guys. I have worked at a movie heavy a long time. I do have a BA in creative writing and editing. I do own my Messy Nessy Designs company, and I was raised in Richfield, Utah, so I am from Utah. My husband's from Orem. I have cousins in West Jordan, so this area is like home to me. But I currently live in Woodland, Washington, which is about 30 minutes north of Portland. And I'm a homeschooler, mom of four, ages two through 12. And I've been doing Brightline eating since January 1st, 2020. Started at 365 in this picture, and now I'm about 265. I haven't weighed for a while because the scale, we will talk about that later, but can be triggering. All right, guys, BLE has changed my life. So even though I still have about 100 pounds to lose, look at this. I laid in a hammock for the first time in over 20 years last year. Like, I have been too afraid that, one, it would break, two, I wouldn't be able to get out. And look, I'm just living life right now, and I love Brightline eating. I'm still learning and have had a lot of resuming attempts over the last 2 years, but you just have to get up one more time than you fall. That's all you have to do, and just take it one day at a time. Look at that picture on the left. Look at my face. I mean, I still have 100 pounds to go, but look at the progress. So according to Susan Pierce Thompson, this is what Brightline eating is. Brightline eating is a movement that she started in 2014, and it's mushrooming at a crazy rate. And she is hoping to get millions of people in their bright-sized bodies. It's a loving community. People come for the vanity, but they stay for the sanity. The support that they get from the loving community is one of the reasons that keeps people coming back to Brightline eating. And we handle ourselves and each other with compassion and pick each other up. Brightline Eating is a science-backed program. So Susan Pierce Thompson's PhD is in brain and cognitive sciences. She studies a lot about dopamine downregulation and talks about how it's behind the cravings. And we work to get our leptin back on board to tell us when it's time to stop eating. So we talk about food and weight loss and eating in scientific terms in BLE. Brightline Eating considers the food addiction susceptibility scale, and through that susceptibility scale lens, Brightline Eating allows us to look at the landscape of why some people can have occasional treats and then stop eating when they're full. Some people really do that, and some of us just have no idea what that would feel like. Brightline Eating helps us understand why the bright lines bring peace to those of us who are higher on the scale. Susan Pierce Thompson claims that it is the most effective weight loss program in the world. And the studies back this statement up, both for the weight loss achieved as well as successfully keeping the weight off. One study showed that after 2 years, 85% of Brightline Eating Bootcamp graduates still maintain a significant weight loss, which is unheard of in other weight loss programs. So the 4 bright lines are no flour, no flour, no coconut flour, no nut flour. Line number 2, no sugar, no artificial sweeteners, no honey, no agave, no diet soda, and no keto shenanigans. We weigh all of our food and measure everything that goes in our mouth. And the 4th line, no snacking. So food is eaten at meal times only, and then between meals, we don't eat anything. There are other components to Brightline eating. The first one is journaling. So Susan Pierce Thompson encourages us to keep a gratitude journal, a 5-year journal, a food journal, and then also complete our nightly checklist. Brightliners also meditate, or are strongly encouraged to meditate, and whatever that looks like for you is fine. If you are not a meditator, you've never done it, you can start by just sitting still for 10 minutes a day. No worries. There are BLE guides, and that is just a person who is experienced who will hold your hand and walk you through and let you feel your feelings. They'll hold your food commitments, and they won't judge you. And then finally, another component is investedness. A certain amount of investment is needed for success on Brightline eating, but the great news is that you can become invested at whatever level you desire or are able to. So the levels of investment are free. There's the free level. Okay, I lost 70 pounds on the free level, guys. So you can read the books, join a few Facebook groups, listen to the weekly vlogs, and that's the free. Okay. You can also now, it's available to do a 14-day trial of the core membership for free. So you can try that out too. And then the core membership is $20 a month, and that includes the boot camp, which is amazing. If you can afford $20 a month, guys, which if you're not going through the drive-through 4 times a month or more, you can afford this. Okay. And then boot camp it's just like a class, and it's got modules that you work your way through. And she just talks about the things you're going to be feeling, how to do bright line eating, some obstacles that come up, that kind of thing. So it's a course that you take, and it's just really awesome. You can go through at your own pace. It's just as fast or as slow as you want to work your way through it.
It's designed to be 8 to 10 weeks, right?
So yeah, you can
go at your own level.
Yeah, 8 to 10 weeks.
And what do you want to accomplish when you need?
So when you're done with boot camp, if you follow everything that she tells you to follow, you should be living your bright life and well on your way to your goal weight. I mean, it depends how far you have to go, but you should be well on your way by the time you're done with that. And then finally, there's the all access, which includes everything in the core membership. And then it has all of the extra courses that are not boot camp, which currently she's running a maintenance course, which I'm not anywhere near maintenance, but I've been taking that course, and it is phenomenal because she wants you to get your brain into maintenance mode before you reach maintenance. And so it's really helpful for anyone. You do not have to be in maintenance for that course. And then there's also Bright Holiday. So that'll get you through from October to January. Yeah. No. So it's either $20 a month or $50 a month. $50 a month will get you everything. And I think there is it's $500 for the year. So that would save you 2 months if you buy it in a 1-year thing. So in this one is the Reboot Resume course. So if you are constantly falling off the wagon, you were strong in the beginning and you just can't seem to get it back, that's what that course is for. Lots and lots of wonderful information in there. And she does cover a lot of this in her weekly vlogs. So if you cannot afford this, you can still do bright line eating. She just goes deeper in the courses. Yeah.
What is the address for the weekly vlog?
The weekly vlog, so you're going to go to brightlineeating.com, and you can just sign up and get the emails. It's podcasts. She also posts them on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel, and you can sign up to get them emailed to you. She puts them out every Wednesday, yeah. Okay, so next is, how do I start or restart bright line eating? Pick a day, any day. Doesn't have to be January 1st, doesn't have to be a Monday. It can be any of those. Just pick a day, guys. Pick a day, and pick the day after your cruise. If you think that it's going to be too hard, pick the day after your cruise. Just pick a day and then stick to it. Okay. Get a food scale. Okay. And then you're going to clean out your junk food. And if you have a family of 4 little kids, you're just going to have junk food in your house. So what that means is clear yourself out a cupboard for your stuff and put their stuff where you can't see it. Yep, make it hard. Go grocery shopping. You're going to need more vegetables than you think, guys. You'll get used to it, but in the beginning, you're going to be like, I just became a rabbit. Like, it's going to look like a lot, but you'll get used to it. Okay. Write down what you're going to eat for your first day. Write that down the night before and send it to someone. Get a BLE guide and send it to them, okay? Facebook groups, just ask for a guide. If you need a guide, find a friend here. Someone will be your guide. Bright line eating is excellent in that once you become adept at it, you want to help everyone else find bright line eating. So anyone will help you.
No want for guide.
Yep.
You want one, you go on Facebook.
You will get one.
Reach out to somebody here. You will find a guide.
Hold a sign that says, "Be my guide," and everyone will flock to you. Okay. All right, you're gonna get some Tupperware or even Ziploc bags if you are on a budget, and just it will really help if you can prepare your meals for at least the next day. But if you can do the whole week, do the whole week, so that once you have written down your food, the next day you do not have to touch it hardly at all. You don't have to prepare it. You don't have to be tempted by it. It's just there and ready to go. And you put it on your plate and microwave it or whatever you're going to do with it, and then you eat it. And then you put your plate in the sink and you move on with your day. And it's amazing. And we don't think about food all day long. We don't say, oh, that was salty. Now I need something sweet. And then now I need something salty to counteract the sweet. And then you're thinking about food all day long. That's not what we do. And it's so cool. Okay. Journal and then prepare to have a different life, guys. It's so freeing. You're going to want to write down how you feel now. Write down everything that hurts on your body, everything that you think you can't, like what Erin said. Write down, just brain dump all your negative thoughts. Get them out, because tomorrow is a whole new day and you can do it. Okay. What should I expect? Well, when you first start Bright Line eating, your fat cells will shrink and they're going to release all their stored toxins into your blood. Ugh. All that crap food that you put in your mouth contains toxins, and then those toxins get stored in your fat cells. So when they come out, it doesn't feel great. You're going to feel withdrawal symptoms. You're going to feel tired. You're going to think you have the flu, that you're going to die. If you're me, not everyone has the same experience. But it's not going to be pretty. And you're going to tell your husband, hey, just whatever I say, don't take it to heart for the next, week or whatever. Just love me and hand me my bunny slippers and send me to bed is what I told him. Just tell me to go sit down. Okay. So without caffeine and sugar to carry you through, you're going to probably be tired. You will be tired unless you're the lucky tiny percent of people who aren't tired. So just plan on that not being you. Okay. You will find yourself with a lot of free time and mental space. This is what I was talking about. All the time that was devoted to thinking about food and getting food and eating food and cleaning up the food and then repeating that sequence day after day is going to be greatly reduced. And you're going to wonder, what do I do with my day? What do I do with my day now? I have all this free time. I would just recommend, so what do you do about these things? Speed up the process, flush out those toxins, make it as quick and painless as possible. Okay, drink as much as you can. Rest, you're gonna take a nap, you're gonna clear your schedule. If you have kids, you're gonna break out Netflix and binge watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse like nobody's business. Don't try to exercise. And your body is working hard during this stage. So don't feel lazy, feel proud of what it's doing, and just know that you can sit on the couch and your body's working while you're sitting on the couch. It's going to be fine. And don't feel bad about it. What can you do about this? You're going to step outside your brain as much as you can. This is hard. We're not used to doing this. We're used to shoving our thoughts down with food, and now we can't do that. So all these thoughts are going to come up, and you need to step outside your brain and look at it. Okay, look at what it's doing. What is it thinking? What is it saying? Notice your thoughts, and then just collect the data. Don't judge it, just collect it. Okay, and don't try to fill the time yet. In the beginning, don't try to fill the time. You're going to think, I got to be doing something. If you don't have to be doing anything. Grab a book, read it. You can certainly start to make plans for how you want to live your life, and then to get ready to do that, because you're going to be able to do that after the first part wears off. How do I know it's working? So in Susan Pierce Thompson's words, it will feel like someone has turned the volume up on life. Okay, things will sound louder. The water in your shower will feel more. You'll just notice it. Things will sound louder.
Your kids who are already loud will sound louder. The clothes on your body, like you'll feel the fabric thing, you'll just notice more. You'll be more observant in your life, and your patience will be graded on. So just prepare for that. Okay, bunny slippers, they will be needed. Ramp up your self-care and your support systems. Do whatever you can do. I mean, nobody can just abandon their life, but you can reduce things that you do not need to do. You can say no to obligations that you do not have to fulfill. Just give yourself a break, okay? You're gonna wanna rage and cry when all your suppressed feelings surface. I remember the first month I was doing Bright Line Eating, I was following the lines perfectly, and I had a Gideon Games group, which is just, we'll talk about that, but I had a group of people that I was communicating with, and I just broke down in tears, and I threw a fit on Marco Polo to my team, and I was like, I am never going to be able to have food again, and this is the worst, and I just can't face my future. Like, I was sobbing, and it was really embarrassing. And you know what? Right after I was done getting those feelings out, they went away and everything was fine. So you have to feel your feelings. And it's new to us when we haven't been doing that. Susan Pierce Thompson says it's working when you feel what you're supposed to feel when you're supposed to feel it. You cry at the funeral, not later. Okay. So that's how you know it's working. You might get frustrated with yourself for being this way. Like, why am I acting like a toddler? Because, guys, we're new at this. We're new at feeling our feelings, and it's going to be okay. Just remember that your actions, this is a Susan Pierce Thompson quote, feelings are not facts. Your actions are your reality. They are your life. So you might feel like a hot mess, but what are your actions saying? They're saying you're trying hard. You are improving. Just do what Erin Hart told us to do and reframe it into the positive, okay? And food dreams, guys, these are common and they are scary. They are scary. You are going to wake up and say, oh, that was the worst dream ever. You had a dream that you broke your lines and you went and ate 57 donuts. I don't know, but it's horrifying and you feel so bad and you wake up and you are so relieved that it's not real. And that is how you know it's starting to work, that your brain is changing, okay? Because you are committed in your brain and your brain is very upset that you broke your lines. Yes, they're intense. You can feel your feelings in those dreams too. All kinds of opportunities to feel your feelings, guys. Yeah. So feelings are not facts. Actions are your reality, your life. You might feel like a hot mess. What are your actions saying about you? Okay. All right. How often should I weigh? Great question. What can your brain handle though? Because in the beginning I was weighing daily and quickly found out that I cannot handle that. Then I went to weekly and quickly found out that I cannot handle that. And then I went to monthly and even that threw me off. So here is the reality. Okay. The beginning and ending weights are important ones. Okay. So take those. And then anything in between is up to you and it doesn't matter. Okay. Because, and take the starting pictures. We talked about that already, but do it. No one wants to see themselves looking like your starting weight, but take them and then don't ever look at them again until you're in maintenance. It's fine.
I also wish I had taken starting
measure and take the pictures and then bury it in your backyard. And then you can dig it up later when you're in maintenance. That never doesn't matter in maintenance. So, it will be helpful when you're approaching your right size body because it will help you know when to add and when to take out. But until then, necessary. And graphing your weights will keep things in perspective. So all that being said, weekly is recommended, but you do you. And if you focus on the weight, you'll lose your lines. If you focus on your lines, you'll lose the weight. This statement is so true, guys. Don't just hide the scale. That is my personal experience with what is best. You can get this app. This is the one I use, Happy Scale. This is a screenshot from my app. Okay, 300. And you can tell when I'm on BLE, and you can tell when I'm off doing research. It's very clear. Very clear. Okay. This app it has the free version, which I do not recommend going up to the paid version because it will allow you to peer into the future. We don't want to do that, guys. You'll start obsessing. So stick with the free version and just graph your weight, and it will look like this, and you'll be so happy. All right.
Brightline eating has its own language, so you may not understand some of these terms that are frequently used. We're going to go over all of them so that you can speak like a Brightline eating professional. NMF, not my food. So that covers anything that is not your food. That is the food on someone else's plate. That is the food you used to eat and no longer eat. And that is the food that contains flour and sugar. That is the food that is extra, not weighed. That is the food that is a snack. Anything that's not my food. NMF. NMD, same thing, but not my drink. Okay, that is the diet soda. That is the alcohol. That is the flavored Crystal Light. That is not my drink. SPT, Susan Pierce Thompson. We love her. All right, NSVs are non-scale victories. So those can be anything that's not a scale victory. So not needing a seatbelt extender on the airplane, or going to a party and staying bright the whole time. Non-scale victories. Woohoo! JFTFP. Just follow the food plan. Just follow the fabulous plan. Just follow the effing plan. You can choose your second F. I choose food plan. Okay, ODAT. 1 day at a time. That is how we do things around here. Sometimes we do them OMAT. 1 minute or 1 meal at a time. And sometimes we have FOMO. Fear of missing out. BFF is not your best friend forever, but rather it is Susan's mantra of just taking a pause between when you're feeling stressed. You need to take a minute and breathe, feel your body, and find your feet or your seat. BFF. 14DC is 14-day challenge. BC is boot camp. BLTs are not sandwiches. They are bites, licks, and tastes. So BLTs are not something we indulge in. We try to not have any bites, licks, or tastes while we're preparing our food. We want all the things that go in our mouth to be weighed and measured. All right, WOOP. Wish, outcome, obstacle, plan. So this is just a visualizing exercise that you can do when you are, maybe you have a party coming up and you're worried that you won't stay bright. So you can visualize yourself making a wish. You wish you will stay bright, and then you can see yourself going to the party. You can see the outcome. The outcome is you end up making it through the party bright. Then you need to visualize any obstacles that you might face. So maybe someone comes up and says, "Oh, I made this just for you. Try some." What will you do when that obstacle comes up? And then what is your plan for succeeding? So visualize all of those things, and then when you actually go to the party, you will have lived it out already in your mind, so you can accomplish that. EAC stands for Emergency Action Plan. So your emergency action plan is what you have written down that you will do when you feel tempted to eat off plan, and it is yours, and you can put whatever you want on it. For example, you might put, when I feel tempted, I will drink a glass of water, and then I will call my BLE guide and talk it out, and then I will leave the kitchen and tell my husband to finish whatever I was doing so that I don't have to eat that. Whatever your plan is. This is the EAC. All right, MMG is mastermind group. So you might want to form a mastermind group. It's usually a 4-person group, and you get together and you have a phone call once a week or whatever you establish, where you go over the challenges and things that you faced during the week and talk it out. WFPB is whole foods plant-based. So you can be whole foods plant-based on Brightline Eating. It's just another level of food eating. PECS is post-event collapse syndrome. So there's this real thing that happens after you make it through that party.
And you'll make it through completely bright, and then you will get home and you will stuff your face and you will be like, what? I did the hard thing, and then I came home and failed in the spot where I'm always succeeding. Why? Post-event collapse syndrome. That's why.
So what do I do to prepare for PECS when I get home? What do I do ahead of time?
And Shauna Murph, who is Brightline Eating Pro, She was my sponsor for 6 weeks. She recommends having at minimum 3 meals for when you get back. So a full day's worth of meals. You can do more, obviously, but a full 3 meals should get you through your PEC. S and F is sugar and flour. SW is starting weight. Highest weight, heaviest weight is HW, and CW is current weight. And then GG is Gideon Games. Gideon Games are groups of 10 competing against other groups of 10. It's just 10 people doing BLE, and you're the group, and you each report your score at the end of the day. So each person can earn 1 point per day for being bright for the whole day. And you just compete against other teams. And do you win anything? The satisfaction of beating them and the personal growth that BLE brings. So no, you don't. And a whole bunch of friends, guys. I started my first Gideon Games group on the day that I started Brightline Eating, and that is the only reason I was successful, was because I had 10 BLE guides to help me through. So join one. So there are official ones. If you're part of if you do the membership, then you can be on an official one and you sign up through that. But otherwise, on the Facebook groups, people are doing them all the time. You just say, I want to join Gideon Games, or you look for the posts that say, we're starting a Gideon Games. Does anybody need a group? And you join. It's every 3 months, but some are off schedule. You can usually find one starting within a month of now.
And if you can't find one,
you can always start. Yep. And those 10 people or 9 other people will become like your best buddies. Like, we are all like, everybody is so happy to be here today because of things like Gideon Games, because I met like 2 people in life, but I know so many through the Facebook groups and the Gideon Games groups. Okay. Big family. Lots of fun. Bunny slippers, we've overkilled that one, so I won't go into that. Crystal Vaser. Crystal Vaser is just a term for somebody who started BLE and then has never looked back. They've never broken their lines. They've never gone off plan. You are a Crystal Vaser. So it doesn't mean you get a bigger prize than anyone else. That's just the term to describe someone who starts and then never stops. Okay. Brightline eating hacks. These are some journaling hacks for you. Oh, if you're not a journaler like me, this is a lot of journaling. You want a gratitude journal, a 5-year journal, a food journal, and then one just to write things in. I have this one. I'm so freaked out. A journal in which I can furiously scribble the heavily detailed multi-layered evidence for how freaking out I am. But I don't use it. And I don't use this gratitude journal, and I don't use this 5-year journal. I have it's like every other page, sometimes, and then I stopped. I'm not a journaler, and it doesn't work for me.
I use one of the journals that I make, and it includes my meal plan for the day. It has a spot for gratitude, and it has a spot to record things that I want to remember from the day. So that's one way to get around having to have so many journals and do so much journaling. Another thing you can do is, instead of keeping a food journal, you can take pictures of your food. You can prepare it the night before and then just take pictures of it on your counter before you put it in the fridge, and send that to your commitment partner, and it will also help you remember what you committed to eat the next day. You can also just keep a gratitude list on your phone and add to it throughout the day. So make it work for you. Don't let journaling be the reason that you quit doing Brightline Eating. Some is better than none, and Brightline Eating without journaling is better than no Brightline Eating at all. Brightline Eating Hacks Hot Mess Express. So I want you to picture this train in your mind, this Hot Mess Express. It is a steam train. It goes fast. It stops at everybody's station sometime. So sometime you are going to have this train stop at your station. Just know the schedule. Usually in the late afternoon before dinner, or at night after dinner, or both. Like for me, I get the Hot Mess Express twice a day. But I know my schedule and I'm ready for it. So you want to build support around the arrival time of the Hot Mess Express. You can employ SPT's BFF technique that we talked about. You can take a minute, just breathe, feel your feelings, find your feet or your seat. So I like this because you can visualize yourself finding a seat on the Hot Mess Express. Are you going to be standing or are you going to be sitting in a chair? Are you going to be standing in the kitchen trying to deal with whiny kids during this Hot Mess Express? Are you going to be sitting in an office at work? Like, where are you? And then center yourself and lock in your stance so that you're prepared for the bumps. You know what's coming. You know your kids are going to whine. You know that it's an hour before you get to go home from work. Whatever it is, you know what it's going to be like. Be prepared. And then ask yourself what you really need for this trip on the Express. Do you need a seat in the back alone, like me, away from your kids? Do you need a seat next to a friend? Do you need to talk it out? Do you need to call your Gideon Games team? What do you need to get through this? Get ready for your trip by throwing out everything but the essentials. So my Hot Mess Express arrives at 4 p.m. and I like to ride alone. So I put my kids in front of a screen or I send them outside with their friends and I grab a bubbly soda and I grab my phone and I settle into the comfiest, quietest spot on the train and I just ride it out alone in the quiet with my drink and my show or my book. Another thing you can do is have your food prepared ahead of time if you know this is your weakest time. So have your dinner ready to go as soon as you get off the train, and that will be a huge weight off your willpower. And finally, eat first. Eat before your family if that helps you stay strong. They'll be fine. they can hang on until you're ready, or eat last if that's helpful. If you're like me, I like to eat after my family so that they leave me alone and let me enjoy my food. I serve them during. I take care of them, I get them what they need, they eat, they leave, they go about their daily business, and then I get my time. So what do you need to make it through your Hot Mess Express time of the day? Figure it out. These are some tips. All right, Bright Line Eating Hacks, Habit Stacks. So this info comes mostly from James Clear's book, but Susan Pierce Thompson teaches the same thing. So the cue, this is the thing that triggers you to do the thing. It can be a visual cue, or like leaving your scale out and hiding the chips, or it can be the ending of another cue. So after I go to the bathroom, I will brush my teeth. After I brush my teeth, I will meditate, and after I meditate, I will eat my breakfast. Then comes the craving, which is the urge that causes you to go through with the thing. And for the urge, you want to make it attractive or fun. So like joining a culture where your desired behavior is normal, and making friends is a good thing. You can engage in Facebook groups, join Gideon Games groups, and start a mastermind group. All good things. The next thing in establishing a habit is the response, which is doing the thing. So human behavior follows the principle of least effort. We naturally gravitate towards the option that requires the least amount of work, and we want to reduce the friction or the things that challenge your willpower, or remove temptation whenever possible. So, for example, don't drive past your favorite gas station anymore if you are in the habit of stopping every time you drive past. Or leave your wallet in your trunk so that you don't want to go through drive-thrus because you'd have to get out and open your trunk and get out your wallet. Make it hard. Make it hard to do the thing you don't want to do and make it easy to do the thing you want to do. And then comes the reward. So this is the reason that you keep doing the thing. And you want the reward to be satisfying. So you could create your own loyalty reward system. Bright Line Eating brings its own obvious rewards, but sometimes they can take a while to manifest, and you want some immediate rewards. So, for example, if I prepare my food the night before, then I can watch 2 episodes of my favorite show. Or after I eat a Bright Line lunch, I can lay down and scroll through Facebook for 30 minutes. Or after I meditate, I can take a long bath. After 14 bright days, I can get a pedicure, etc., etc. All right, here's an example of a morning habit stack. So you wake up and that cues the next thing, which is brushing your teeth, which cues the next thing, which is meditate. After you meditate, you're going to listen to the accountability call. And after that, you're going to eat your bright breakfast. That's a morning habit stack. And then life is going to get lifey. And you're going to have the middle of your day, which is unpredictable and can be chaotic and is hard to have habit stacks, which is not to say it's impossible, but, you start out with plans And then you get pulled this way and that way and the other way, and this person needs that from you, and this was an unexpected thing that happened. So, and then all of a sudden your Hot Mess Express shows up. But you know what? You're ready for it because you planned on that, right? And then everybody starts shouting, "Where's my dinner?" And your plans went out the window. But that's okay because you have your evening habit stack all ready to go. Because after you clean up your dinner, you are going to go on a walk with your hubby. And after you go on a walk with your hubby, you're going to prepare your food for tomorrow. And after that, you're going to commit that food to your buddy. After that, you're going to journal and you're going to study your scriptures or whatever it is that you do. And then you're going to go to bed. And then the next day, you can do it all over again. And that's an example of some habit stacking for you.
Work on your identity as a bright line eater. Erin kind of talked about this. Decide who you want to be. Reinforce the things that make it true. Keep it simple, self. Don't call yourself stupid. It's self, not stupid. And kiss. Take it back. If your food's getting complicated, you're trying to make fancy recipes with it, and you're feeling your lines slipping away, you're having bites, licks, and tastes, go back to the beginning. Have your carrot sticks and your ranch and your cheese and whatever. Just go back to the simple. Okay. I believe you're a blurdo and everyone else will too. Okay. When I'm on bright line eating and I believe it, then my kids don't try and force me to eat things I shouldn't eat, but they know when I don't believe it. Okay. Everyone around you can feel your energy if you believe it. Amen. Make it work for you, okay? It's way better to tweak the plan and make it work for your life than to not do it at all. So when I first started, my baby was 4 months old. I was up all night long. I ate my breakfast at 1 or 4 in the morning because that's what I had to do, okay? And it ended up being like the last meal of the day, which is not how Wheelie goes, right? But I had to make it work for me. And I still lost 70 pounds and I still had all the benefits in my head because I was doing the best I could do. It's better to do what you can do than to do nothing. Set it and forget it. As soon as your automaticity is there, don't mess with it, guys. Be a crystal baser if you can. It's just the easier way to go. All right, reinforce your new identity. So you might feel like a fraud. Your brain will start telling you that this is not who you are. You can't keep this up right now. Nobody thinks you can do it. They're not wrong because your brain's telling you, right? So you need to start giving your brain evidence that you've changed. Erin talked about this. This is my example. This is the last slide, so I'll just go through it. These are some of the things that I wrote in my journal. Okay, today was rough, really, really rough in Mama Land. I yelled, I cried. I really wanted to eat out of frustration and shame, but I didn't. So that's something, okay? I look for the evidence in my day that shows me that I'm a bright line eater, and then I write it down so that my brain can read it and believe it. Today, I want to remember I can be rushed into 1,000 things to do, and I do not need to eat or get a Diet Dr. Pepper to make it through. My food is enough. Today, I want to remember that I'm feeling improved. When I had the opportunity to sit and be lazy, I chose work. That is amazing. It has been years since I felt like that. I don't ever want to go back to being broken. I'm so grateful to my Heavenly Father for making this possible. How nice it was to have my food prepped so I could just focus on other things. I got so much accomplished today. Today, I want to remember that I did not want to prep my food at all for tomorrow, but I did it anyway. I know I will be grateful I did it. I want to remember how hard it was to get up. I suffer from depression. Many of you probably do too. It's triggered a lot by sugar and diet soda. It was hard to get up. I did it, okay? It was hard to resist popcorn and candy. I did it. I resumed after a break yesterday. I got right back on track, and I didn't make it a thing. We'll just skip ahead because this one's my favorite. Today, I want to remember I climbed to the attic. I rescued kittens. I cleaned and healed kittens. I consoled children over dead kittens. I got puked on by my 2-year-old. I tried a stressful new recipe for dinner. I had a major depressive episode. I battled bedtime screaming sessions and night terrors and coaxed a mama cat into actually being a mama cat to her kittens, all in one day.
And I stayed bright. This is what establishing your identity as a weirdo looks like, okay? This is how you change your mind about what you are. Whenever you see evidence that you are a bright line eater, write it down and then read it to your brain. And eventually your brain will start to believe it. Yay! Okay, where can you get your questions answered? Go to the books. The books by Susan Pierce Thompson. Go to the weekly vlogs by Susan Pierce Thompson. They are free on YouTube. Ask trusted members of Facebook groups, Gideon Games groups, mastermind groups, people who are at this conference. You can listen in or call in on the coaching call sessions. And you can go to brightlineeating.com/support. If you want to know where I got any of my journals, I got the 4 recommended journals from Susan Pierce Thompson on Amazon, and the all-in-one journal is sold on my Etsy shop at Messy Nessie Designs on Etsy. Messy Nessie, M-N. All right, thanks guys. Bright days are the best days, so go live your best BLE life and be a weirdo. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, I put my email address right there. You can contact me.